I'm Pastor Aaron Harris, and in this video, you're gonna learn about money mistakes to avoid in your 20s. Your 20s is a unique period of time in your life when you are able to focus on building. Many times in your 20s is when you'll have more time, energy, and freedom to accomplish whatever you need to accomplish than you will at any other time in your life. Society does not expect you to be financially successful in your 20s. So if you are financially successful, then you're ahead of the game. So you have a choice to make. You can use your 20s to waste time, or you can use them to get ahead. The number one mistake that you can make in your 20s is not investing in your education and your skills. Education is not limited to going to college. There are many ways that a person can go and be educated for a job or a career. So in your 20s, you should try to enhance your education and your skills as much as you can. The more knowledgeable you are and skilled you are, the more likely you are to produce a higher income in the future. So your 20s are the most likely indicators of how you will end up financially in your future. Yes, some people hit the jackpot in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or even later, but for most people, the decisions that they make in their 20s will have the biggest impact on what they do in life. The second biggest money mistake that you can make in your 20s is not preparing for your future. That means that you do not have a financial vision for your future. So the first thing you need to know is the difference between a dreamer and a visionary. You don't want to be a dreamer. A dreamer is someone that just feels like they're going to hit the lottery one day, they're going to be rich and have a ton of money, but they have no plan to actually execute their dream. When you're a visionary, what you're doing is you're envisioning your future, and then you're making plans to be able to reach that destination. So once you have a vision for your financial future, then what you set up are goals. You may set up monthly goals to you want to hit a financial goal in the next month. You may have a 1-year goal to where it says in 1 year, this is where I want to be financially. You may have a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal, and even a 30-year goal for when you retire in the future. So after you have your goals, then you need a strategy. One example of a strategy is setting up a budget so that you can reach your 1-month goal, your 1-year goal, and your 3-year goal. Another example of a strategy is if you say you're going to put 20% of your income into your 401k so that you can retire early. So if you don't have goals and a strategy, then really you're just a dreamer. But once your vision, your goals, and your strategy begin working together, then you are a visionary. So actually having a vision, goals, and a strategy will help to keep you from making bad financial decisions. Another money mistake to avoid in your 20s is living beyond your means. For people who are not multi-millionaires, your 20s is not the time to go and buy your dream car or spend a bunch of money on your dream car. It's not the time for you to wear a ton of designer clothes and get designer bags and buy a lot of designer things and jewelry. Instead, in your 20s, your goal should be to build. You're not expected to be rich in your 20s, so don't go broke trying to look like you have money when really you're struggling or living paycheck to paycheck. Instead, what you should do is you should find a way to live below your means. Living below your means in your 20s may mean getting a roommate instead of staying on your own. It may mean going and buying a used car instead of a new car. It may mean buying some less expensive clothes than going and buying some designer brands. In addition to that, living below your means may mean that you can't go on the exotic vacation that you see everyone else going on Instagram, but instead you do something that's more moderate and something that is more price friendly. In addition to that, while you're in your 20s, try not to put yourself in bad financial situations that will hurt you in the future, such as going and getting a lot of high interest debt like credit card debt, where you're going and you're buying things that you don't necessarily need with money that you don't necessarily have, and you get yourself in a situation to where in the future you're going to have to climb out of that debt. Another money mistake to avoid in your 20s is getting unnecessary student loans. For some people, getting a student loan helps them to get a degree, which helps them to get into their career, which helps them to earn a great income, which helps them to be able to live out their financial vision. For other people, getting student loans is a bad financial mistake. I know people who have tens of thousands of dollars of student loans that did not finish college. So they have all of those loans, but they have no degree that can help them to go and get a better job so that they can make more money. And I also know people that have a degree in a field that they either don't want to work in or they're not able to get compensated well in. And so they find themselves switching to another field completely, and their degree is absolutely useless, meaning that they took out money for this education that they're not even going to be able to use. And some people go and take out student loans to work in a career field that barely pays them over minimum wage. And some people graduate from college and they don't know what to do, so they find themselves applying for college again so that they can go get more advanced degrees, and they take out more student loans, but they do not have a concrete plan for what they want to do for the future. They're just going to school because it's something to do or something that others are doing. So if you're going to take out student loans, I want you to do it in a career that you're actually going to work in. So I want you to find out if that's actually a career you enjoy working in. So I want you to go and volunteer in the field that you see yourself working in. I want you to see the entry salary for people in that field so you can see how much you'll most likely make once you graduate from college. I want you to see the median salary for that field so that you can know how much you can expect to make in the middle of your career. And then I want you to see how much student loans you're taking out for that field and to see if it actually makes sense. So once you put them all together, if you say, I'm passionate about this job, I enjoy the work, the entry level pay is good, the median pay is good, then you can go with that decision. But if you're going to school just to go to school and you have no clue of what it is you actually want to do, then you should not take out a ton of student loans, because that may mess you up financially in your future and hold you back from the financial goals that you have. Another money mistake that you should avoid in your 20s is not saving and not investing. I know that in your 20s, it's likely that you're going to make the least amount of money that you will in your working lifetime. As a result of the small income that people earn in their 20s, a lot of people decide not to save any money or invest any money and just wait until their salary increases. The first reason that that's a bad idea is because you should build habits of saving and investing. If you build habits of living paycheck to paycheck and spending every penny that you have, then those habits may follow you even when your salary increases. The second reason that you shouldn't do that is because financial emergencies happen. So you should not be surprised for them, but instead you want to prepare for them. So you should have an emergency fund that is saved so that you are prepared for emergencies. The third reason that you shouldn't wait to save and invest is because of compound interest. $100 invested in your 20s is worth more than $1,000 invested in your late 40s or 50s. And so with that, the earlier you invest, the better. So you should invest as much as you could, especially taking care of your retirement. I want you to be successful, and your 20s are an important time for setting yourself up for success. So if you learned anything from this video and you enjoyed the video, then what I want you to do is to continue watching the other videos on my page, which is all about financial literacy so that you can be successful with your finances.